Bonjour tout le monde. Je suis très heureux d'être ici avec les deux membres de notre cabinet fantôme responsables pour les finances, Éric Lefebvre et Jajwaj Singh Halan. Évidemment, notre raison d'être a toujours été de restaurer la promesse du Canada que le travail fort engendre des grands chèques de paie qui peut acheter de nourriture, de l'épicerie, de logements abordables dans les communautés sécuritaires et de renforcer l'idée que le travail fort vous donne une bonne vie. Évidemment, c'est la raison pour laquelle nous avons mené le débat contre la taxe carbone pour réduire les impôts et pour éliminer le TPS sur les maisons neuves. Quand j'ai proposé ces idées, les libéraux ont dit « Oh, c'est juste des slogans » ou « c'est des mauvaises idées ». Mais soudainement, ils font copier-coller en partie ces trois propositions. Les libéraux ont déposé une motion pour mettre en place ces trois priorités de façon mitigée. Moi, je crois qu'ils auraient pu aller plus loin et les conservateurs auraient insisté de trouver les économies dans le gouvernement afin d'éviter d'ajouter au déficit. Par contre, nous sommes le parti des contribuables. Nous sommes le parti qui veut couper les impôts et les taxes pour les Canadiens. Et c'est pour ça que nous allons voter pour ces réductions en même temps que nous proposions des amendements pour aller encore plus loin, pour éliminer toute la taxe carbone, y compris sur l'industrie, pour couper les impôts de façon significative et pour éliminer le TPS sur plusieurs d'autres maisons qui ne sont pas couvertes par la proposition libérale. Finalement, nous allons proposer de couper la bureaucratie, les consultants, le BS corporatif et l'aide à l'étranger afin de trouver les économies pour ne pas ajouter au déficit inflationniste. On sait que chaque fois que le gouvernement emprunte de l'argent, ça gonfle l'inflation et ça menace nos finances pour l'avenir. Donc, nous allons proposer les amendements et j'espère que le gouvernement va travailler en collaboration avec nous afin d'adopter notre amendement, ce qui va améliorer la situation. Peu importe, nous allons voter pour parce que nous sommes pour les réductions de taxes et pour les réductions d'impôts, même quand ces réductions ne sont pas assez. Donc, c'est ça l'approche que nous prenons. Il y a plus de 8 millions de Canadiens qui ont voté pour nous, de l'espoir qu'on peut renforcer cette promesse du Canada de permettre les jeunes de travailler fort, acheter une maison, les parents de pouvoir remplir leur frigidaire sans vider leur compte de banque et des aînés de pouvoir vivre en dignité. Ça prend des réductions d'impôts et nous allons nous battre encore et encore pour des pouvoirs d'achat plus élevés et les taxes et inflation plus bas. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm very pleased to be joined by my Shadow Minister of Finance, Jaz Halan. We also have our Associate Finance Shadow Minister here, Éric Lefebvre. Yesterday, the government tabled a Ways and Means motion with regards to 3 tax measures. Now, I'll just take a very brief trip down memory lane, not to go too far back, but of course, we Conservatives have been leading a crusade for lower taxes, to axe the carbon tax and the GST off new homes, to cut income taxes. And of course, when we proposed this, the Liberals said we were crazy, and now all of a sudden they are at least in part plagiarizing our policy proposals and adopting modified and watered-down versions of them. Their motion will partly eliminate the carbon tax, the GST off homes, and give a very modest, very tiny income tax cut, so tiny that it would be barely enough to buy you a cup of coffee every week at a Starbucks. But it's better than nothing. Conservatives came here to fight for lower taxes and more purchasing power, and so we are going to put forward amendments to this motion that will get rid of the entire carbon tax for everyone, for real, for good. We also push for the GST to come off of more homes so that we can encourage more building and more buying. And we'll push for a bigger income tax cut that people will actually notice so that hard work really does pay off for a change. Finally, we are going to push for cuts in bureaucracy, consultants, corporate welfare, and foreign aid so that we can match the lost revenue with lower spending in order to avoid adding to the deficit. Every dollar of deficit spending is a dollar of inflation that ultimately shows up across the country. We cannot print and borrow our way to prosperity. We need sound money again, and that means bringing down the deficit. So we will, that said, we are the party of taxpayers. We will vote for every tax cut, always and everywhere. We love taxpayers, and we want taxpayers to be better off. We will offer even better ideas in the future, and as I said a few weeks ago, I'm encouraging the Liberals to steal my ideas because we have the best ideas. We've been winning the debate on ideas, whether it's on carbon taxes, inflation, housing, resources, drugs, crime. Conservatives have been leading on all of those things, and we're here for the right reasons, not for our egos. It's to get things done to make people's lives better so that they can work hard, have beautiful homes in safe neighborhoods. That's our mission, and that's what we'll fight for.
Can I ask you about main estimates? Main estimates were also tabled yesterday, a $486 billion spending plan. We don't know how the money's going to get raised for that. I wonder if you've had a chance to review the estimates and whether or not you should vote on those before you see a budget and a fiscal framework.
That's a very good question. Just like Justin Trudeau, Mark Carney's spending is absolutely out of control. In fact, it's worse. Mr. Carney has proposed $130 billion of additional spending above and beyond what Mr. Trudeau had already baked into the prior budget. This is extremely irresponsible. Inflation continues to rise, and we want Mr. Carney to introduce a budget this spring so that we know the size of the deficit, how much it will add to inflation, how he's going to reverse the hemorrhaging of job losses in our country. And we're calling on Mr. Carney, who claims that he's a man with a plan, to show us the plan in one budget document. My caucus will be reviewing the estimates, David, and when we have a chance to do our homework, we'll decide. We don't want to decide on $500 billion of spending without having done a little bit of homework. So we'll have the pencils and the calculators out, and we will come back to you with a direct answer to that question.
Un peu en deuil, Monsieur Poilievre, de ne pas être à la période de questions aujourd'hui.
I don't like it.
Vous n'êtes pas à la période des questions. Est-ce que vous êtes un peu en deuil?
How does it feel not being able to...
En français, peut-être?
Monsieur, c'est correct. C'est la même question. I'll respond in both languages. Hey, I'd love to be in there. It's a great place. I love the House of Commons. I love the excitement and the thrill. And I've never really been a spectator of the House. So but I'm going to work hard to earn the opportunity to do it again. I consider it a great privilege that I've been able to do it for so long in the past. And I think the opposition has a great role to hold the most powerful people in the country accountable through question period. En français, j'adore la période de questions, donc évidemment j'aimerais être là. Donc nous aurons une occasion si les gens de l'Alberta sont d'accord et je vais continuer de travailler fort afin de gagner leur appui. Thank you very much.
Will you take the same approach when it comes to speeding up approvals for big projects that you're taking with tax cuts? In other words, if they chip away at Bill 69 rather than repeal it entirely, would it have the Conservative support?
So you're asking if there was a bill introduced that would...
In the throne speech, there's going to be a bill to speed up approvals, one approval rather than two, deals with provinces. Is that something you would support in the name of speeding up projects, as you would with tax cuts?
The question we always ask is the proposal better than the status quo? If it is, then we support it. If it's not, then we oppose it. But I'll tell you, if Mr. Carney really wants to get things done, he's certainly not in a hurry to do it. These things are going to take a long time, even if he acts immediately. And he's talking about waiting till fall before any legislation will be passed. And he's only going in half measures. So I'll give you an example. The most direct path for a pipeline to Tidewater is to Northwest BC, but there's a tanker ban in the law. So nobody is going to start planning to build a pipeline west as long as that ban is in place. So he's got to get rid of that ban, or else we will not have a pipeline to the west coast. So where is he going to send it then? Is he going to send it up to the Arctic, to Hudson's Bay, through Quebec to New Brunswick? Well, he won't say. Yesterday, he didn't mention oil, gas, or pipelines once. Look, if you want to get things built, you need to pass very tangible changes. Very simple. You have to get rid of the industrial carbon tax, the energy cap, the West Coast shipping ban, C-69. That is how we're going to get things built. We need to unlock our incredible resources so that our trades workers get $200,000 a year jobs that will make them all better off. That's what we want. And we can be independent and self-reliant from the Americans. Thank you very much.
Ça fait juste 3 questions. Une quatrième. Sur un autre sujet, il y a une dizaine de jours à peu près, M. Carney avec M. Macron, M. Starmer a publié une déclaration pour condamner les gestes d'Israël. Et là, il est question peut-être d'imposer des sanctions. Que pensez-vous de la déclaration et des sanctions?
Je trouve ça épouvantable que M. Carney et les libéraux sont en train encore de cibler Israël. Ce qui, en même temps que Hamas continue d'utiliser les otages, de menacer le terrorisme et de menacer les antisémites continuent de menacer les Juifs ici au Canada. Moi, je crois que, évidemment, Israël doit pouvoir arrêter Hamas une fois pour toutes. Et si on parle de sanctions, ça devrait être ciblé en l'Iran et non pas sur l'État d'Israël. L'Iran, c'est la vraie menace, if I can say that in English as well. I think it really is extremely unfair that Mr. Carney is targeting the democratic Jewish state of Israel when, in fact, Hamas continues to hold hostages that continue to threaten Israel's various existence, that Iran continues to threaten Israel and the rest of us. If there's anyone who needs to be on the receiving end of sanctions, it's the dictatorship in Tehran. And it's time for the Liberals to stop trying to score political points by attacking Israel and singling out Israel. And finally, we need a stronger stance from this government against the rampant anti-Semitic chaos that we're seeing on our streets. My Jewish friends are genuinely afraid. They're genuinely afraid for their lives because of the way they've been targeted, and we must stand up for their ability to live freely and peacefully, wearing their kippas, their Stars of David, and putting their mezuzahs on their doors. Thank you very much.
Your stance on